You're not going to believe what happened at today's Yankees game against the Oakland Athletics. You're not going to want to miss it. Hey everyone, this is PM Sport Talk, the father and son duo podcast. I'm your host Preston, alongside my father Mike and Dad. How are we doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. Great weekend of sports. We're finally into the second season, I like to call it, and I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, well, our main sports we're going to talk about today is basketball, and we got some football events coming up with the draft. But we're not really focused on baseball because the season just started. But something really weird happened today in the Yankees game against the Athletics. Aaron Boone was right by a fan sitting by the dugout. And the umpire basically threw Aaron Boone out for what a fan said. So the fan said something to the umpire, and I guess the umpire thought it was Aaron Boone who said it. And I don't know if you want to see it, but Aaron Boone was livid for obvious good reasons.
I didn't get to see this. How did he react to that? He must have went nuts.
He was freaking out.
I bet he was. He gets ejected a lot as it is. He doesn't need help from the fans, right? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is the umpire, as soon as Boone said, that wasn't me, it was the fan, the umpire got caught in the hot mic saying, I don't care who it was, you're gone.
I'll bring up Tyler Nevin. Ooh. Wow. That's an expansive zone.
You're not yelling at me. I did what I'm supposed to do at Jet.
Wow.
I'm looking for him to get hit by the pitch. You got anything
going
else
for
to
him.
say? You're gone. Okay?
Well, we heard that loud and clear from Hunter Wendelstedt.
And there you have it. Hunter did what he's supposed to do. He's looking for the hit by pitch. He gone.
That's crazy.
Right away. Aaron Boone has been tossed from this game, and he is pointing down at someone else. He's going to have a big conversation right now with Hunter Wendelstedt.
Well, we are.
That's like one of the first times I've seen Yes Network catch Boone and umpire on the hot mic.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never seen that. So that was on Yes. That was right on Yes. Wow. It's obvious he didn't say a word. He's just leaning up against the post there. He's just staring down, and then he gets thrown out.
I guess he was being mouthy before that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay, I'll stop. And then the fan ended up saying something, and then he gets thrown out.
That's crazy.
It's time to start punishing these umps. Fines, whatever. It's time.
These umpires are getting more publicity than the players are lately. Wow, it's crazy. I have never seen that. It's probably happened before, but I've never seen it. That's crazy. Yeah, if I was Aaron Boone, I'd be mad too. But like you said, he was saying something earlier. He told him not to talk anymore. He was going to be gone, and he thought said something. Oh man, that is unbelievable. Wow, that's crazy. And the Yankees lost the game besides that.
Fans over social media react to it, and I mean, a bunch of them are saying, you're going to have to get someone to drag me out of the stadium if I get ejected for not saying a word. I mean, it's ridiculous how bad these umps are nowadays.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if Major League Baseball is going to do something. I mean, they're going to have to say something because it's right there on tape. You can see that he didn't say a word, so they're going to have to issue an apology or something. I mean, not that I don't know if Aaron Boone cares, but yeah, it's a bad look for baseball once again.
Like that was probably the. I feel like I've seen Aaron. I'm surprised that's not the most mad I've seen Aaron Boone. I don't know. That's probably up there. I mean,
Yeah,
wow.
I've seen him really mad before, but we didn't get to hear what he said. We actually got to hear what he said this time.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
BS, Hunter. I didn't say anything. Like,
Yeah.
that's so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was bizarre. I think that's a perfect word to describe it.
Yeah, it's bizarre. The whole game's bizarre because why are the Yankees playing at 1 o'clock on a Monday afternoon? Does anybody know?
Baseball games usually go on at 1 o'clock.
Not on a Monday.
Not on a Monday.
Yankee games are on at night, unless it's on the weekend. Or like there might be a game like Wednesday or Thursday. Thursday, the getaway game.
I guess like once in a while they play because I've watched afternoon games.
I mean, it's more common in the summertime, like when kids are out of school and stuff like that. But it's pretty rare that you see like a Monday afternoon game for the Yankees. I mean,
I've seen one when I was in school once.
yeah, it's
Seen a
not very
couple.
often though. It's
They
pretty
have,
rare.
they have playoff games sometimes during school.
Yeah, but a regular season game on a Monday afternoon in New York, that's just unusual. But anyway, the whole thing is just bizarre.
Oh my goodness.
It's a good word, I guess.
Oh my goodness. That was probably the worst thing. Yankees end up going on to lose that game 2-0. And the offense just continues to look horrible.
Yeah, they're in one of their funks. Everybody was going crazy about the Yankees because they were hitting it so great. Now everybody's come back to earth. Hopefully it's just minor setback, but Volpe is coming back down to where he was last year. And, the only guys hitting are Soto and Cabrera, really.
Verdugo here and there.
Verdugo's starting to pick it up. Stanton actually has been pretty decent for him.
Yeah.
The main issue right now is Judge. He has been absolutely
Judge has
horrible.
been terrible.
Horrible. If this is how his season's going to go, wow, they're not going to win. But it's early yet, so I still think they said that he's not that healthy. The foot bothers him off and on, they say. So it is what it is. We'll have to see. Hopefully when it gets warmer, he gets better.
It blows my mind. I mean, people call him soft for taking that injury and not being able to play with it. And everyone's like, what does a toe have to do with it? I mean, if you saw the clip from last year, he smashed right into that Dodger wall and broke the wall.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's a big time injury. I mean, for a hitter,
And he's really tall, too.
he's a big guy, like you said, and he's all his weight's on that foot, and all the torque when he's swinging, and plus he plays center field too, or he was. Yeah, he still is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think he'll get it going. It's early.
It is very early. Let's move on now. We just got a little bit of baseball out of the way. I mean, we just couldn't ignore that. That was one of the craziest umpire moments of all time already. But the NBA playoffs recently started off this weekend, and most of the games were not that entertaining.
It was a dud. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
A dud of a weekend for the NBA. All the home teams won, for one thing. Not one single road team won. And like you said, there was only like 2 close games. The best game was last night at like midnight, and nobody got to see it,
Yeah.
That was the best game of the weekend. What came right down to the end, right?
McCollum got a chance to win it, and yeah, that was probably the closest game. Yeah, the Knicks-Sixers game was pretty good.
That was the other one that was good.
Yeah, the Knicks ran away with it at the end. Yeah, we continue to praise one man on the Knicks, and he showed up, Josh Hart.
Yes, great game for him. You're used to him hustling, getting rebounds and assists and just being all over the place, but he shot the ball. That's probably the best I've seen him shoot the ball.
Yeah.
He was making threes, and he was great. And Brunson didn't have that great. He had just an okay game. So
he picked it up. Deuce McBride played good.
Deuce McBride, I got to be honest with you, I don't even know who he is. That's how little I paid attention to the NBA this year.
Probably only know him because I play NBA 2K, so I've seen him on there, but I'm going to be honest, I don't see Thibodeau give him that much minutes when I watch the Knicks.
Yeah. Was he on the team last year?
Yes, he's
was.
been there.
Yeah, I don't remember him playing. So,
Yeah, he shot the ball really well from 3 as well as Hart, as we already said. They really picked up for Brunson not playing well.
yeah.
And did DiVincenzo get hurt or something? Why was he not playing?
I didn't hear anything about that. So, I gotta be honest.
You noticed, right? He wasn't on the floor, like, at all.
I don't know. I saw him playing some, but I was switching back and forth between that and a hockey game, so I didn't really see exactly because I just figured the Knicks were going to win that game with Embiid being hurt, so I kind of put my focus on the NHL game. But yeah,
Embiid played really well for having one good leg after injuring it on the self alley-oop.
yeah, that was a really dumb play. I get what he was doing there, but when you're got a knee that's at any moment could be the end of the season, you might want to take it easy on those. But what was I gonna say? He's not guaranteed to play tonight either.
Is he?
I think he probably is, but he was listed as questionable or doubtful. He's probably going to play, but I don't see him being 100% at all for any of this series now. So,
And it's crazy that he was hurt and him and Maxey were still the only people who showed up to work that day. I didn't hear about anyone else on the 76ers, really.
yeah, where was Tobias Harris?
Yeah, Tobias Harris.
He's overrated.
Big time.
Yeah. And Maxey, I guess, is sick. I heard he was sick, so.
Yeah, he was ill, I think, last week. He missed a couple of regular season games and he's playing through that, too.
They said that there's a chance he might not play tonight. So there are chances. I'm assuming they're gonna play.
They're probably going to play, yeah.
But what are you gonna get out of them, right? So
that means the other guys are gonna have to step up.
yeah. So that's got the Knicks. This has got to be their series to win. Before they got playing there, I was like, I wouldn't be shocked at all if Philly beat them. But with the injuries to Philly now and this Embiid being hobbled, the Knicks have to win this series now, I would think.
Well, the other series I'm going to get into right now is the Clippers and Mavericks. They kicked off last night or last afternoon, yesterday. And James Harden keeps proving you wrong. You are the biggest James Harden hater I know.
Yeah. Well, after what we've seen the last couple of years, I thought he was done. I mean, I went on this long tirade last year on the show about how you can't win with him. He's poison to your team, and he was poison to that Philadelphia team and to the Brooklyn team. But yeah, he's doing it in Clipperland, at least for now. I don't know if he's going to sustain it. Is he going to go back? I didn't watch much of that game. Is he going to go back to dribble, shoot? Or is he kind of being like a team player? Which
he was being a team player in the game. The Clippers, the biggest part of their scoring was the ball movement because I was watching and a lot of those guys, Paul George, James Harden, they were drawing the doubles. And they were making the right play, whether that's feeding it down low to Zubac, who the Mavericks don't really have a center that can be physically present with him.
Yeah.
Or find the open guy. So that was the Clippers' game plan. And on the other side of the ball, the Mavericks played an absolutely terrible game. You just hope that they can bounce back. Game 2. And, yeah, Luka was nowhere to be found, their star.
Yeah.
And Kyrie.
Well, this is the battle of the team wreckers. You got Kyrie Irving on one side and James Harden on the other side. So which one's going to win out?
You're calling Kyrie a team wrecker? Okay, so based on their past.
Yeah.
You
don't win with those guys usually.
So Kyrie, let's go through this. Cavs, he
won with LeBron only because LeBron. Before LeBron, they were horrible.
Right.
And then he left.
And then he went to the Celtics, and we all know how that went.
He ruined that team.
And then he went to Brooklyn.
And he ruined that team.
Now he's on the Mavericks. He's playing pretty good. So I
He's
guess
playing pretty good because Luka was already there. So it's Luka's team. So he can't pull his garbage that he usually does,
Yeah.
where I'm not going to play, I'm not going to do this. He can't do that there, or else they're going to be like, see ya. So I think that's why it's kind of working out. But a lot of people thought that Dallas is going to make it to the finals against Denver. Boy, if the other night was any indication, that doesn't look too good. I know it's only one game, but
I completely forgot about the Clippers. We've been talking about the playoffs off the show, and you were saying that the Nuggets are a guarantee lock to the finals, and I was saying Minnesota has a chance, but this Los Angeles team, I think they have a chance too.
I don't know. I have to see more than this.
I
mean,
know.
I got to see more. They can't beat Denver if Kawhi's not playing. Harden and George aren't going to do it.
Kawhi's not out for the whole playoffs. He'll be fine.
What's that? He's
going to be fine.
Yeah, but I thought he was healthy, and all of a sudden he's missing game one. I mean, what's going? It seems like there's always something with his knee. His knee was swelling. Isn't that always him in the playoffs? The knee has swelling, and he misses games.
Yeah, he usually
doesn't it seem that way
with San Antonio when he was there. If you remember that, he never missed a game.
He was good until
then Zaza Pachulia with the dirtiest closeout I may have ever seen. Steps on his foot, and then there's an awkward landing, and now he always has problems with that leg. Ever since that.
Yeah, ever since that. But he's played most of the season. I thought he played pretty well this season.
Yeah, he did. I don't know.
All of a sudden,
I was confused too. Trust me. I was like, why is he out? I don't remember him being hurt.
I'm like, well, there it is. There we go. Kawhi, load management in the playoffs. I mean, you just can't.
I don't even know what to call it.
I don't know either. It's just he's always hurt. It's, and if he's not 100%, they're not beating the top teams in the conference.
Yeah, it seems that way. Like he always gets hurt. Ever since he left Toronto, he played like the whole season.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Can't depend on him. He's a great player, but you can't depend on him.
Yeah, can't depend on him to be healthy. Yeah.
And the other two guys just aren't good enough, I don't think, to beat Denver. Unless if somehow Denver gets beat, then you never know. But I just don't see it. So we'll see. But like I said, these are only one game in these series, so a lot to be seen yet. But
yeah, Lakers and Nuggets tonight. Do you think this is going to be a sweep? Lakers win one?
I mean, game one the other night was just a continuation of last year's series.
It was close.
Lakers are either ahead or they're right, or it's a 2 or 3 point game.
Then Denver runs away with it
in the fourth quarter, and then Denver pulls away in the last 5-6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happened in all 4 games last year. And until I see the Lakers hold a lead, they might get swept. I going into this, I thought they could win a couple games, but I'm not so sure. I mean, Anthony Davis played a great game.
Their shooters just suck. Their shooters suck against Denver. Reeves played terrible, continuing from last year. Russell played terrible, continuing from last year. It's a mess.
Yeah, Russell was the big disappointment. He's been playing good all year, and he just had a bad game. I mean, if he can get back on track, I can see them winning a game or two, but they're not. I just don't see them beating them because some way, somehow, that they just can't beat this team.
This brings us back to their conversation where they won that game against the Pelicans in the play-in, and now they run into probably who should be the real number 1 seed threat. Not saying Thunder isn't good, but they're really young, inexperienced. So the Nuggets, on the other hand, have playoff experience. They won the frickin' finals last year. So, I mean, it's just like the Lakers are, I feel like they're outmatched in a way.
Yeah. Like you said, there's Denver, when they need to make shots, they make them. And when LA needs to make shots, they don't.
Yeah.
It's like they go shot for shot for like 3.5 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get to that fourth quarter, it just changes. And Denver makes shots and they don't. And I don't know. they're getting tired, LeBron's tired or what, but yeah, it's just I'd like to see the Lakers win because I don't know, I'm just not a big Denver fan, but I just don't see it. But I think there's more, Anthony Davis and LeBron James. It's more entertaining than to me it is than Jokic and whoever. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's going to be Denver, I'm afraid. So maybe one of these other teams, maybe Minnesota, maybe they can with their big guys.
I'm high on them.
Maybe with their big guys, they can neutralize Jokic a little bit. So we'll have to see. Maybe they'll do something. But
That's where I wanted to go next. Minnesota and Phoenix. If Phoenix starts to play well and plays good in the clutch, because game one was pretty good. In the fourth quarter, though, the Timberwolves dominated. But I'm really excited to see this Edwards versus Kevin Durant matchup because, Edwards is a guy that he obviously probably had role models when he was younger, but he doesn't care now. He's in the big leagues. He'll talk trash to anybody that is in his way of winning a championship.
yeah, it's an interesting series. I was watching that game a little bit, and Minnesota got up pretty big there, 20 or whatever it was, and I'm looking at Durant and I'm looking at Beal, not so much
Booker.
because he's still fairly young. I mean, but
It's crazy how young he is. I mean, feels
Yeah.
like he's been in the league forever.
but I'm looking at Durant and I'm looking at Minnesota with Edwards and their guys, and I'm like, and then with AD and LeBron, and I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe this is the year that these older guys start to bow out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The younger kids start to take over, because that Phoenix team, you would think everybody's like, oh, watch out for Phoenix, but I don't know. Minnesota just seems fresher. Maybe it's the changing of the guard we're going to see in this postseason, where these teams that have these older stars on them, they don't make it,
Right.
and we see the young guys pull through.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same way about that. I mean, we already saw it. Curry got bounced out by
Yep.
the Kings. Klay Thompson seems to be shot.
It's kind of a changing of it's kind of that you're starting to see youth take over.
Time to see that passing of the torch.
That's what it is, yeah. In the NBA, I mean, it's a young man's game. I mean, LeBron's LeBron, but there's only one LeBron. The other guys can't do that, what he does. So
I feel, LeBron, honestly, if he keeps it up, he could play into mid-40s.
yeah, he's just a different animal. But the other guys, even Durant, yes, he still gets his points, but I don't know. It just looks different to me. He doesn't look as quick when he makes his moves and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
He just looks slower compared to that Minnesota team, and I think we're going to see it. I mean, I could be totally wrong. That could just be a first game thing. Sometimes that is.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be shocked, to see these old guys kind of bow down to the young guys.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind it either. I mean, maybe it is time for the young guys to take over, and everyone gets to see what these guys really can do. And to be honest, the future of the league is in their hands.
Yeah, we need some new stars. The league's kind of hanging on to LeBron and Steph and Durant, and Boston has young stars, so we have them. But out west, there's a lot of old guys that are hanging on. So even with the Mavs, I mean, I know Luka's not old, but you got Kyrie, he's older, and Clippers, they're older, a lot older. I mean,
their team is pretty much filled with veterans.
So this might be the year where we see the young guys. So even Jokic, he's not that old. He looks old, but he's not.
Yeah,
he's not old.
No, yeah. Jokic, when was he drafted? I'm trying to think. 2017. It wasn't that long ago.
No, he just looks old, but it's just the way he is. I mean, and he plays like that.
Yeah, he plays old. I mean, it's ridiculous how that guy plays.
But he doesn't. But he doesn't get tired or anything. I mean,
no, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just.
It kind of feels like the NBA is just like side job for him with the way he wants to go home all the time.
It does seem that way. He's just playing it it's just like a way for him to make money and then go do what he really wants to do.
Go home and see his horses.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, maybe that's why he's so good. There's no pressure. He doesn't feel any pressure because he doesn't, he just plays basketball to play it. I mean, I don't think he feels pressure.
Yeah. Honestly, I've never really looked at it that way. You may be onto something there.
And when he just throws up shots and makes these crazy passes, he doesn't care if it get intercepted or not. I mean, there's no pressure. He's just he's just out there doing him,
Yeah.
And that's what makes him so good. And would you be shocked if they win it again and he retired? Would you be shocked?
Probably not.
I wouldn't be. I'm not saying that would happen, but it wouldn't shock me one bit.
No. He always wants to go home. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if he wins the finals this year, if he were to, I'd honestly say he already has a Hall of Fame career with all the MVPs and finals he has.
Oh, he definitely would. But if stature means anything to him, I mean, I don't think it does, but who knows? He could be just being coy with us too. But if stature, as far as all-time greats means something to him, I mean, if he'll keep playing, he could be like a top 10 guy of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't get the impression from him that he cares about that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy that didn't want to go have fun at the parade. He was asking his coach or whoever, when's the parade? And they tell him the date, and he goes, I want to go home.
Yeah, he just wanted to be here. He just wanted to go to his ranch. And, yeah.
I respect it. I mean, that's a great way of, I don't know, kind of distracting your mind from it. I mean, he doesn't feel any pressure, like you said. So
no, it's like LeBron. I mean, he's got all the pressure in the world to live up to Michael Jordan and all this stuff, and Jokic has no pressure, none.
Yeah. So that is pretty good for NBA talk. Now we're getting into the good stuff for our last segment here. The NFL draft is this Thursday.
I can't believe it's already draft time.
I can't either.
I think it's because the weather's been so bad here in Western New York that when the draft comes on, it's usually warmer out, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, the draft. But it's been so cold, I'm not even focusing on it. And then all of a sudden, it's this week. Yeah, it's some interesting things, too.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to start off with your guy, J.J. McCarthy. What is he doing in these top 5 conversations, top 5 pick conversations? I get these teams need quarterbacks, but are we really looking at the same J.J. McCarthy we saw in college?
I'm higher on him than you are. I'm not sure I'm going to go with him in top 5, but I think they're looking at him as for the new NFL quarterback because he has a good arm, really good arm, and he's very mobile, and he's a winner. And I think that means something to a lot of these GMs. He's a winner.
That's fair. I agree with that, but I mean, I saw this point from your guy, Mad Dog, on First Take, and I couldn't agree with him more. He goes, he goes, what are we looking at in J.J. McCarthy? I mean, my goodness, did you see the games? And I mean, I couldn't agree with him more. He doesn't.
Well, you don't like Michigan.
No. That has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
He is very I'm just looking at the stats here. I'm telling the truth. Stats don't lie. He is very inconsistent. I mean, I guess if you want to say that he didn't have Harbaugh for the games against Penn State, Maryland, that's a good point.
The Maryland game.
But if you trust this guy to pass the ball, I feel like you would keep the game plan around him.
I think Mad Dog has been on this theme all year. Oh, did you watch the games? Oh, he didn't even throw the ball in the second half. Well, you know why he didn't throw the ball in the second half? Because he was hurt. They didn't want him to throw the ball. He couldn't throw the ball. And they ran the ball because Penn State couldn't stop their running backs. They didn't have to throw it, and he couldn't throw it. He never brings that up. Oh, he was hurt. He was hurt, and in the Maryland game, he was still getting over that. And then come championship game, he played pretty good.
Donovan Edwards played pretty good.
Yes. I mean,
he has good guys around him. I mean, I can't help but give this guy a pretty good credit. He's played good for the position he's been in. I mean, didn't he replace what's his name, Cade, in the middle of the season or something one time, or was that as like? Because I forget how that whole thing happened. Because Michigan fans were
he got hurt.
Cade.
Yeah, he got hurt.
So, okay. So
he was gonna replace
I'm so
him anyway,
confused. I wasn't really following Michigan at that point because all these Michigan fans said we did him dirty. But it doesn't seem that way.
You know what? No, he didn't get hurt. I think they did. Geez, it's been so long, I can't remember. But yeah, listen, Cade he's just not the same caliber quarterback.
Yeah.
You can just watch him. He's not. So you're not going to keep McCarthy on the bench for him. I mean, you're just not. So, a lot of people forgot this year how hard it is for a college kid to play quarterback and have really good stats on a team like Michigan that wants to run the ball all the time. They don't have great receivers. Mm-hmm. Their tight end was overrated. Mm-hmm. They're running, and then asking him to throw on third down.
Yeah.
So he has pressure on him to make that. He's not getting 50 throws like Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels gets, where he can just throw.
Yeah.
And get in a rhythm.
USC and LSU both have good receiving cores.
And he didn't have that in Michigan. They had
Roman Wilson. They had a pretty good receiving core. The prior year. But this year it wasn't. I didn't really like their receiving.
They didn't have any deep threats. Roman Wilson's like a possession guy, and he's pretty good. But they didn't have that deep speed guy that like all these other teams had, like Jaden Daniels had. Mm-hmm. He had He has 2 pro receivers. Michael Penix had 3 pro receivers on his team. I mean, Michigan didn't have that. So. What Michigan had was a pro offensive line.
Yes, their offensive line was really good.
And pro running backs. Mm-hmm. So that's what they did. So I think McCarthy is one. I mean, Tom Brady went to Michigan. He was good at Michigan, but he wasn't a superstar. He went in the 6th round, and where is he now? I'm not saying that he's going to be Tom Brady, but I'm just saying it's so hard to judge these guys just by going by their stats in a game. You got to look deeper, I think. Look at Josh Allen for Buffalo. He went to Wyoming. Look at his stats in college. They're absolutely horrible, beyond horrible.
Yeah. I was confused. That draft also confused me. I'm like, who is this Josh Allen guy, and why is he sneaking in to a possible number 1 overall pick?
Yeah, he got there because of his size, his mobility, and he had a cannon for an arm. He only threw the ball. He was only like 50% completion percentage in college. But the pro scouts saw something there.
That's true.
And that's what they're thinking with McCarthy. There's something there that they see that they like. So listen, I'm not saying he's going to be this great pro, but I think he'll be decent. Okay. But maybe he shouldn't go in the top 5, and maybe that's the Will Levis effect too. I don't know, but maybe it's just smoke. But yeah, but for those people that don't see him going that high, I don't blame you for that. But I think he is a little bit better than what the naysayers think.
Okay, yeah. You watch Michigan a lot more than me, so you probably have more of a say there. But I want to make one more point. Caleb Williams. The more and more that comes out about this guy, the more and more I start to hate him. I love him as a player. He's very fun to watch. His ego makes him so unlikable.
What did he do now?
I mean, he was on, what is it, I Am Athlete, I'm pretty sure, and with Clark, Crowder, Marshall, and basically, who was his coach again? What's his name?
Oh, Lincoln Riley?
Lincoln Riley, yes. Lincoln Riley. He was complaining on the podcast about how Spencer Rattler started over him in his freshman year, and basically bashing Spencer Rattler.
Well, Spencer Rattler was projected to be a top-notch quarterback.
Exactly. That's why it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but they put Caleb Williams in pretty early that year because they saw what he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. I think that I can see why that would turn people off. I do.
He just seems like he just doesn't seem like the best locker room guy. I'm just gonna put it there.
That's possible. He's gonna learn. He's gonna learn real quick.
He's got so much veterans now, though, with the Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. They're not gonna put up with it.
No, he's gonna find it's a little different. I mean, he'll rule if he plays really, really well, then he'll rule the roost. But if he struggles a little bit, they'll put him in his place. Another thing that I just heard recently, which I didn't get that vibe at all from, is Jaden Daniels. Apparently, he was upset at the Commanders, who's expected to take him with the second pick, that they invited him, but they also invited all these other quarterbacks at the same time to go meet the Commanders. And and there's this talk where he was like, why are these guys here? I mean, they don't belong here. And so he had that little bit of that same Caleb Williams vibe too. So,
well,
I don't know.
At that same point, I get it, because the Commanders, they're not known for being a good franchise, like owner-wise, GM-wise. Kind of seem like a bunch of...
but it's a new owner and stuff.
But if you're inviting Jaden Daniels, I feel like that should be one-on-one.
Yeah.
With how good he is. But if the Commanders do take him, we'll leave it with this. Do you think he pulls an Eli Manning? By that, I mean request a trade on draft day.
No, I don't think so. I think he'll get over it, but
I mean,
it's just
there's been so much other things that he was unhappy about with that Commanders organization. I feel like it's a bigger possibility than people think.
Maybe it is. I wouldn't think so, but with today's athlete, anything is possible. These guys have been, coddled their whole lives, so anything is possible. These guys, you'd like to hope that they'll go to where they get drafted and try to prove that they deserve that draft spot, but who knows with these guys? That's why I think sometimes it's the lesser known guy, like a Josh Allen or somebody like that actually ends up being the best of the draft class, because they have to work more for it. They have to prove themselves, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where these guys like Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels already think that they have proved themselves.
Right.
And they think, well, I'm it. I'm the guy. Well, sometimes the guy that gets picked 5th or 6th in the draft ends up being the best.
Right.
Because he's appreciative that he got picked, and he wants to go out and show that he is appreciative. Where these guys are kind of entitled. So
I feel like that could be, in a way, McCarthy, because I know I just said all that stuff about him, but if he's willing to sit and learn, then I think he could be one of the best quarterbacks out of this draft.
Yeah, whether you think he talent-wise deserves it to be mentioned with those two guys or not, but I think if you look attitude-wise, he's above them.
Right.
Way above them.
He's willing to sit for wherever he goes, whether that's New York, Minnesota. He's probably willing to sit, and that's the patience is key with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, and from everything I've heard, he's willing to learn. He's a coach's dream. He listens to the coaches. He does what the coaches want. He learns all that, and he's not a diva.
Yeah,
where those other two might be divas.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think Drake May, he's from North Carolina, who we're not big on either, but I don't get the diva thing from him either. Whether he's talented enough is another thing, but he's, I don't know. Jury's out on him as far as talent goes, but
yeah,
sounds like he's going to be the 3rd pick, though.
Oh yeah, May is definitely going to be top 3, top 5. So. Well, that's going to do it for our podcast talk of sports. But before we sign off for today, we have a sponsor that we're very proud to present, Premier Talent Relations. a sports agency, a marketing business in the Rochester area, and they are hosting something that's probably one of their biggest events yet, the celebrity softball game.
Yeah, Preston, this is a great charity event. It's going to be a celebrity softball game for Golisano Hospital. All the proceeds go to the hospital, I believe. It's got some pretty good athletes in it. There's a couple current Bills, Tyler Bass and Khalil
Shakir.
Khalil Shakir. I always get his name mixed up. Up and coming wide receiver for the Bills, especially this year. There's a couple other guys. Brian Jordan. He played for, if you remember him, he played for the Atlanta Braves.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple other guys that you should know.
Other guys that are included in this, there is Eric Devendorf, Syracuse basketball legend, I would say.
Andre Reed, another ex-Bill.
Yes.
He's going to be at it.
There's a couple professional wrestlers, former professional wrestlers in there too. And yeah, this should be a very fun event. We will be in attendance, PM Sport Talk. And if you are around the area and you would want to just go to a fun event with your kids, with your family, it's a very I would say great way to go out, and it's going towards a good cause. So, and it should be pretty fun.
Yeah, it should be pretty fun. Should be pretty entertaining. Lots of ex-athletes. There's a lot of news people, local news people. A couple radio hosts that I know of are in this. So it should be a great event. Yeah, it looks great. We'll put up on the screen during our podcast here at the end of our podcast here where you can go to get ticket information, and I think it's a pretty good event. It's May 11th at 5:00, I believe. Innovative Field in downtown Rochester,
Where the Rochester Red Wings play.
Yeah, where the minor league baseball team plays. Should be a great event. Like I said, we're going to go. Hopefully the weather's great, and like you said, the proceeds for a great cause to help Golisano Children's Hospital. So.
Well, everyone, that's going to do it for PM Sport Talk today. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and make sure to subscribe. We are very thankful for everyone's support as of these last few months. We're approaching a year, Dad, since our first episode. We are almost there, I think 3 months away.
Yeah. I remember it was during the playoffs last year when we started this, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Been a great year. It's hard to believe it's been almost a year already.
Actually, well, if we're gonna be specific here, we started YouTube. When we started YouTube, we're gonna be 3 months away from that, and then we started Spotify, and we are less than a month away from our 1-year anniversary of PM Sport Talk, which is very, very exciting.
Absolutely, and so grateful for all the subscribers and listeners. It's been a great experience.
Thank you all for watching this episode of PM Sport Talk, and make sure to check out Joe and Premier Talent Relations. Hope to see you guys, some of you guys there, and that will do it for today. Thank you.